Businesses and citizens alike rely on their local government for a range of services, everything from police and firefighting to maintaining sewer systems and streets. Delivering on those expectations is becoming increasingly difficult as municipal budgets strain under a complexity of competing demands on limited revenues. Businessman Joe Graviss, owner of 8 McDonald's franchises, former chairman of Bluegrass Tomorrow, and former chair of the Woodford County Economic Development Authority, is championing a regional approach to these problems. Joe, thanks so much for taking time out of what I know is a really busy schedule. We appreciate you being here to help us get our arms around what is a very complex, vexing problem. The runaway costs of employee pension and health care coverage for what is an aging workforce, one of the nation's worst statewide substance abuse epidemics, a water supply crisis, take your pick. Each of these issues, among others, is in its own way bearing down very hard on area municipal and county governments, and as a result these governments are increasingly hard-pressed to provide the services and the amenities that they must in order to support competitive economies. You've been helping to lead a micro-regional approach to these problems. Can you tell us about that process and how it's fared so far?
Yes, thank you, Tom. Bluegrass Tomorrow has always worked in a regional cooperative fashion, and we decided to undertake a economic analysis of the 18-county area to look at our fiscal capacity, our taxing districts, our hospitals, our schools, our infrastructure, and see, what are our current needs, what are our shortfalls, how does it look today, and how do we think it might look in the future. And the result of that study came some recommendations, and one of the recommendations was to convene some regional summits of elected officials from around the Bluegrass area to try to address these important issues from a regional perspective, because we realize that we can no longer go in 18 different directions. You got each county with its own agenda and its own issues, and we end up fighting against each other and a race to the bottom. And the areas around the country and in Kentucky that are doing well are doing it collaboratively.
The city and county officials who've been involved sought out the help of a number of organizations for their expertise in the fields of government, business, regional planning. It's called a Group of Five, or G5. It includes the Kentucky League of Cities, Commerce Lexington, the Bluegrass Area Development District, and Bluegrass Tomorrow. What's been the outcome of their work?
It's been fascinating so far and extraordinary. We've brought the groups together. We asked all the elected officials in the Bluegrass area to bring in their 2 greatest issues, and then the elected officials charged the G5 to go back and look at these 80 some odd issues that were brought to the table and distill them down into the issues that are of the utmost importance, that if we made tremendous progress in, would have the greatest impact in our region. And the Group of Five distilled them down to the water supply, substance abuse, revenue options, pension and health care costs, and our jail dilemma that we're facing.
All right, and where does it go from here, Joe? Can you give us a little brief idea?
Where we go from here is that we've been charged, the G5 has been charged with coming up with solutions to the 5 major areas that we've determined that if we had major progress in would make a big difference in our region, and ultimately free up resources for the next 5 areas that really need work. And so that's where we're going, is putting together solutions that we can present united as a region to help make some progress happen in these areas.
We'd like very much to follow that with you.
Great, looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, Joe Graviss. We appreciate
it. Thank you.